3 hours of Raw and 3 shows to build to. Next week's Raw, Showdown, and Hell in a Cell. This is our Raw review. There's a lot of build towards 3 different things that we got to look
Evolution.
for. And Evolution. Jesus. So much to build towards.
Yeah.
There's so many things happening. Holy crap.
And next year's SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going
to be in Toronto next year. Holy shit. All right. Well, we open up with, go figure, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. This eventually turned into Braun Strowman saying, hey, guess what? I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank against you. We're going to be inside Hell in a Cell. So Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins can't get involved like they did last week. Braun's the first person to forget what happens in Hell in a Cell. Then Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler come out and they're like, hey, we're done with the rest of the Shield. You two are at the top of the mountain here on Raw. One's got a guaranteed shot. One is the champion. We need to take you out. So we want to have, I don't know, a match against you? Maybe. Baron Corbin's like, yeah, sure. That'll be the main event. Kurt would never think of that match. No one would expect that match to happen. Baron Corbin also decided to put himself in a match against Finn Balor, where Finn Balor won by disqualification, or not, because Baron Corbin forgot it was a no disqualification match and then won the match.
Because he used the chair.
Shawn Michaels is going to be on Raw next week. He will be weighing in on who he thinks is going to win between Triple H and The Undertaker at Super Showdown in Australia. Sasha Banks defeated Dana Brooke, because that was the warm-up match that Titus could find for Dana. Good job, Titus. Dean wants to break Jinder's face, and later in the night he would. Seth Rollins put out an open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. It was accepted by Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens said, I'm not leaving without a belt. And he left without a belt because he quit.
Because he lost.
So, Seth Rollins still the Intercontinental Champion. Kevin Owens no longer on the Raw roster, though Baron Corbin talked to Stephanie, said, hey, I'm gonna try and figure this out. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. The Revival defeated the B Team in tag team action, and they will get another shot at the Raw tag team titles next week. Elias was performing, and we're thinking, okay, he's got to get interrupted by someone, probably Bobby Lashley.
I predicted Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey, and you were close, but there was an in-between, because first it was Trish Stratus, who came out and fucking put the verbal smackdown on Elias, and then actually smacked him.
Down.
Yeah. And then he left because Ronda and Natty came out. Natty ended up winning a match against Alicia Fox, setting up more for Evolution, as well as the Bellas will return to action next week on Raw, and they will face the Riot Squad.
Wonder how that's going to go.
We'll find out. Corbin, along with trying to figure out what to do with Kevin Owens, also talked to Bobby Lashley. Said, hey, you've got yourself a match tonight. I didn't forget about you, don't worry, but I did forget who your opponent is. So Bobby went down to the ringside, and then Baron's like, oh, I forgot you have 2 opponents, but don't worry, it's the Ascension. He didn't actually say that, but that's essentially what they say. Essentially, that's what happens when the Ascension comes out. Is don't worry, it's just the Ascension, and Bobby Lashley destroyed the Ascension. And then in the main event, which was supposed to be Braun versus Roman, or Braun and Roman versus Dolph and Drew, not really sure what the actual result of the match is.
Roman tagged Braun.
Yeah.
Braun never got in the ring.
Drew and Dolph just beat the shit out of Roman, and Braun just watched. So then Braun got in, and then all 3 of them beat up Roman. And then Dean ran out by himself, because that's smart.
So that's just what Dean does, though.
It's true. And then Seth does the same thing. He likes to just run headlong into danger.
Well, he just likes to run.
That's true.
CrossFit Jesus.
Especially while he has a bum shoulder from his match against Kevin Owens. So the Shield just get fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And that was the end of Monday Night Raw. What'd you like?
What didn't I like? I'm going to give my like to the newfound alliance between Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre.
I mean, if you wanted 3 guys who are already over to be more over, you put them together and have them face The Shield.
Yeah. Talk about more angry bars and more angry places.
Yeah, so we could probably guarantee that's going to be our main event next week.
Yeah. Sometime between now and Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
We've only got a couple weeks until Hell in a Cell. So yeah, I mean, Dolph and Drew are already dominant.
Yeah.
Then you add Braun Strowman, who is the most... He is the dominant of dominance.
Yeah. So
Like-
you have the dominantist
Yeah.
team possible.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Indeed. I'm going to give my like to Sasha versus Dana.
All right.
Because Dana looked really good. I don't usually expect a lot from Dana because she doesn't wrestle all that often. And I was expecting pretty much a beatdown by Sasha. Because Sasha and Bayley are two of the top women on the roster.
Yeah.
Other than Ronda and Alexa, I'd say. So yeah, I was expecting it to be fairly quick, but yeah, Dana looked pretty good, and I like that they're still kind of continuing this potential breaking away of Titus O'Neil from Dana and Apollo, because Dana and Apollo are kind of working for themselves, and Titus keeps putting them in situations. It's like, why are you doing this to us? And so I enjoy the storyline, and I like Dana Brooke. It's nice to see her back, like actually wrestling, and yeah, she did a good job. What'd you love?
My boys.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't even know why I asked
the
you.
B team.
I don't even know why I asked you.
Get themselves a tag title match next week.
Do you want to pre-love your boys winning the tag titles next week? It's our first ever pre-love here on the Raw Review.
Yeah.
He is already loving the potential or the fact. Are you going with potential or fact?
Fact.
He is already loving the fact that next week the Revival will be the Raw Tag Team Champions. How sad will you be if the B Team wins? Can we preempt that so I'm aware of what emotional state you might be in?
Let's just go this way.
Okay.
That will be my pre-dislike.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we have a pre-love or a pre-dislike for next week. Fair enough.
Not only we're doing a first pre-love, but it's the first pre-dislike.
Yeah. We're predicting your feelings for next Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
A whole new video. Emotional predictions.
Emotional predictions every single week. I'm going to give my love to Trish slapping the shit out of Elias, because just the verbal smackdown was great, and then for Elias was throwing some shots, and for him to just get
he did the old Divas match.
Oh yeah,
bit.
Was this gonna be a swimsuit like pillow fight? Oh man, yeah. Trish wasn't having that shit. That was not good. But I think on top of the fact that Elias was coming in with, those old diva tropes, we still had Trish like using his own lines against him, and the whole thing was it was a lot of fun, and I think it was a good moment for Elias. Is a good character to talk trash.
Oh yeah.
But then it also doesn't hurt him to get kind of, his comeuppance.
Oh yeah.
Get the ladies get the final say over someone like Elias. So yeah, I appreciated that segment. Did you dislike anything?
Titus O'Neil was on the show.
Well, anything less obvious than Titus O'Neil being on the show?
I don't know. I got tired of Baron's face.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't hate Baron Corbin that much.
No, I just don't like his face.
You just hate his face.
Punchable.
So if you just heard his voice, you'd be fine.
I don't know.
What if he was an anonymous Raw general manager?
I'd love it. Bring the laptop back.
No.
Better than Corbin.
Is it Michael Cole is better than Corbin?
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't think we can be friends anymore.
No, I'm going to be real. The only GM worse than the laptop was Mike Adamle.
True. I don't think it gets any worse than Mike Adamle.
Sorry, Mike. I know you're a huge fan of the show.
Yeah. But and I know this is a shock to you that we're talking some trash.
But his name is Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, not Harvey. Hardy.
Wow, would it take us back 10 years?
Holy shit, yeah. Well, the fact that we remember that speaks volumes.
You can't forget that.
That's
really.
true. Oh, man. I actually forgot that he was, like, really the general manager. I thought he was just, like...
It didn't last very long.
Because he just seemed like... He was kind of like a... Oh, man. The guy who used to do the interviews. He'd be in the crowd, and he'd just have a microphone.
That's how he started.
Right. That's all I remember of him. I don't actually remember him doing anything general managery.
Yeah, because they took him off TV, and then they brought him back as general manager later.
Yeah. I'm going to say my dislike is actually the use of the Shield. Because it's like they forgot how to be the Shield.
In like a week.
Because, like, the Shield specifically, the reason they were dominant was like, hey, we stick together, we attack together, we do stuff together. So, if you have Roman in a situation where he knows... I mean... Don't get me wrong. The turn from Braun isn't exactly something. I didn't expect that. That was a cool little addition to the main event. But with how much Seth and Dean have already dealt with Dolph and Drew, they should have been well aware that, like, hey, shit might happen. Let's be ready. But the fact that they all went out there one at a time, I was like, that's not how you do that. Especially when on top of Dolph and Drew being out there, now you have Braun Strowman. Why? It seemed very sloppy for the Shield.
I had a rationale for this one in my head. Why when it was happening.
Okay.
In my head. Because Dean had just wrestled Jinder.
Right.
So he was already pumped up, ready to go. And probably closer to the go zone to get out to the ring.
Right. Seth was probably in the trainer room.
Was in the trainer's room, probably getting his shoulder checked out.
Right. And then Sauce...
So it would have taken him longer to like tell the trainer, like, hey, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
And with the fact that, like, if Seth and Dean weren't in the same place when this happened, that's your explanation for why Dean went in headlong, because he didn't have Seth there.
Seth wasn't there calming him down.
Like, he didn't have Seth there to go, hey, let's go together. Better odds if the two of us go at the same time. Okay,
all right. It's still okay. I'll accept that, but still, I'm okay. I'm disappointed in the Shield for being as sloppy as they were this week, and Roman Reigns for being too trusting. What a moron!
He does have a trusting face.
I have another dislike, but I'm not even going to get into it because I don't talk about things that I don't like.
Huh?
Who? Yeah, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Click those links down below.
There's so many social media links.
There's also a podcast link.
That's the one that says SoundCloud.
Where you get this review and all of our regular reviews in podcast form. And there's Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
Did you know that it's reasonable with a W?
Like wrestling?
Yeah.
Well... I couldn't even keep going.
Watch all sorts of videos, like unboxings.
We're actually going to have a new episode of The List coming out this weekend. Gearing up for something. Won't spoil it. You have to go to Reasonable Wrestling Fans and find out. Maybe we'll tell you on the midweek wrap-up. I haven't decided yet. But, there's also Question of the Week with Thomas Wolf. There is unboxing, where you get cool Lita shirts like this, and all the cool little micro-brawlers that we have up here. And there are other videos that are loosely based around wrestling. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Thanks for putting up with me being sick on camera.
Fuck Mose.
Yeah. That makes me feel better.
It's the cure to everything. Fuck Modus myself. I don't know why.
Dad?